Vickers. Website, nancypaulmary.us. Our site's Infowars.com and prisonplanet.tv. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure and check out the online video bookstore at Infowars.com if you want to get more informed on what's going on. Well, I mean, there's no doubt the currencies are going down worldwide. There's no doubt that we're going into a worldwide sustained depression. There is no doubt that government is just pressing the accelerator of growth. And so, again, I go back.
Of their growth.
Of their growth. So where is it going? I mean, what will a dollar collapse look like, or how do you see this whole currency situation shaking out?
Yeah, well, it's not happening right now. I mean, because what you're seeing is, Portugal. We've had problems with Portugal. I think the last I heard was to insure $10 million of their debt, because they tried to sell some debt this last week. The price to insure that $10 million was $219,000 just to insure the debt. That's pretty rich. So what's happening is because Western Europe, Portugal, Greece, Spain, UK, because these places are really coming unglued first, you're seeing a flight to quality. If the U.S. dollar is such a thing, but you got to imagine a ship is sinking, right? And the rats will climb to higher decks on the ship, and so it is with markets. So we have the currency thing is in fact unfolding on a global basis, but we're getting this temporary lift in dollars because global investors and global, holders of currencies don't know where quite to put their money. So we've seen this lift in the U.S. dollar. The weakness.
So when does the ship go down?
When does the ship go down? I think I'm not sure when it happens. I can tell you that when it does happen, it'll happen pretty quick. It'll happen like an overnight.
What is the crow's nest that will have hundreds of rats piled on it as it goes down into the North Atlantic?
What a great imagery, Alex. The crow's nest. What are you talking about? What do you mean crow's nest?
That's the area up on the main mast where the lookout, and it's the last part of the ship to go under. So you've got rats. Famous historians wrote about ships going under and rats going up and perching on the top of the mast as it goes under.
It's probably hard assets, inevitably.
So gold, real estate, things like that.
Real estate's inflated. It wouldn't be real estate because real estate is inflated by all the excess dollars.
But at least it's something that's got something real is what I meant.
No, but it inevitably, unless it's farmland or something like that, and really there won't be much demand for that. No, real estate is going to be going down for years.
So what is it? Gold? I mean, gold. Period. What else? What else is hard?
I guess just commodities. But even if it really got bad, you'd have to temper the rise in gold with the fact that some holders would be selling gold because they would have nothing else to sell. Right? If your currency is worth nothing.
So you have a depression in the real economy, so it doesn't matter if you're the crow's nest because you're still going under.
Yeah, they're in an all-out, total global collapse, a deflationary collapse. There likely would be few places to hide. And we've for years and decades, they've said that what you needed to be was be in stocks because stocks kept away with inflation. We've had the currency go down, 97% over the last 30, 40 years, and yet the stock market has gone up, so it's kind of a delusion, really, that people are facing. Look, whatever the trends are, we're going to follow them, whether the trend for the market is up or the trend for the markets are down. We're going to seek to capitalize on them. If the markets continue to roll over, we will increasingly get short, like we did in 2008.
But for the general public, you see even more storms ahead.
I think the underlying trends are pretty strong. I think you got to really be alert and keep listening.
Hold on. We've been getting a very interesting perspective in the last 45 minutes from Damon Vickers, 9 Points Capital Partners Director. The website is www.npm.us. Our site's Infowars.com. Bob Chapman on a host of issues of the internationalforecaster.com coming up in the next segment. Again, I'm Alex Jones. Damon, you're gracious enough to stay with us a few more minutes so you can finish your thought there. You were talking about other currencies going down, and that's what Dr. Paul Craig Roberts 3 months ago predicted. Bob Chapman, many others we've had on are saying the same thing that you've been talking about, that as other currencies go down, because they're even in more debt with big government than we are, that rats are going up to higher levels of the ship, and they're now on the deck, which is the United States, and so that's buoying the dollar for a time, but the government's only pressing the accelerator for more government, more spending, more bailouts. So, again, how do you see the ship going under? Because they're clearly not going to right the ship.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't. If we're assuming that government is going to have this like epiphany of understanding what it is that actually creates jobs and innovation and all of that, that's not going to come from government. I'd like to see better tax policies in place. That might really help us. But really, we need to encourage innovation and technological leadership, and I mean really push for it. That's our only way out. We have to export things, and so. And I want to go back to the currencies. What happens in markets, in any markets, and for anybody who remembers, the decline in 2008 or the decline that we had in 2000, 2003, that what happens is that fewer and fewer stocks are going up, and what happens is that people pile into quote the quality issues, and so what you get is this very narrow support in the market where most issues are going down. A couple are kind of maintaining their ground. And then
that makes more bubbles.
No. It has nothing to do with bubbles. Inevitably, in an all-out decline, everything goes down.
Got it.
So the delusion that investors have right now of selling their Greek currency and the pounds and the euros and going into dollars is really short-sighted. Inevitably they'll be selling dollars too, and the dollar will go down as well.
Well, I was thinking mainly of commodities being bubbles, because if they're the best thing out there, then finally when people have to dump them because that's the only value there is to pay for things, I mean, that does pop a bubble.
Well, the commodities is an interesting one, because the global commodities, like all asset prices, have been driven up because of the excess supply of currency that's in the planet. The printing of currencies. See, it's not just us that's had this all-out abandon and love for the printing press. It's all of these countries that we're talking about. It's the Greeces, the Portugals. What do you think the export is of Greece? What is it? Is it olive oil? What is it? What do they export?
I was about to say olives. And
it's like, right, olives. We don't, it's the... what are they, Spain.
So we have this G20 coordinated printing press, like an arms race, but of money. And so we got 1 minute left. What does it lead to?
Inevitably, I think when it all inevitably people lose faith in currencies in their entirety, and you get some type of probably new monetary form of exchange. Yes, because it's because we're in the digital age, it's electronic, and it's more something like that.
A global government.
A global government, a new global system of debits and credits that are all managed electronically on a global basis.
But they plan that to be carbon-based, but that's failing.
Well, we'll see if they're able to bring that one back to life. All the best, Alex. Great being with you.
Damon, thank you for being with us. Take care. All right, Bob Chapman, straight ahead, ladies and gentlemen, giving you Damon Vickers' perspective. Kind of a globalist perspective, but we need to hear from all the different views out there. Bob Chapman, straight ahead. We'll see what he has to say about what's going on with the plunging stock market, dollar rising, gold going down some, massive debt increases.